Dr. Stanley Gravely.
Hello. Can you hear me tonight? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So let me start then, and I'm going to hand the floor over to you anyway, and we will not interrupt you. Jersey in the house. So again, if I don't acknowledge everybody rolling in here, don't feel bad. I just don't want to interrupt Dr. Stanley as we get going. I just wanted to answer a couple of the questions that I'm often asked is, what do you do these days for working out? Well, very lightweight, light repetitions, high repetitions. Every other day, I will do either full body or I do a 3-day on, 1 day off, shoulders, arms, chest, back, and legs. And again, just high reps, a lot of supersets, giant sets, just to stay toned, maintained, and fit. So, as we've been sharing here the last few weeks, we're here on Facebook once a week and Instagram once a week, this wonderful technology and the groundbreaking pain management that I came across, it's been around for a while, but I just love it. It's worked wonders. Again, if you've joined me before, you know it's helped me with my osteoarthritis in my knees. It healed my fracture quickly, and it got me back into action. So I swear by this. As we're speaking about the products, it's not just for recuperation for, post-surgery or injuries or, arthritis or migraines or old issues that I have people, on the patches for that have been bothering them for years, and now they've got full mobility through the X39 stem cell activation patch. I'm always asked, though, and this is interesting, what are stem cells? Oh, okay. So I might have Dr. Stanley break down, what are stem cells? They're the root of everything.
All right. Stem cells. Stem cells are the most important cells in our body. Why is that? Because they are the cells that can duplicate, replicate, and rebuild your old cells and make new cells. If you're not making new cells, then you are deteriorating, you're wearing out, you're getting old. And ultimately, Sharon, every sickness and disease is an aging disease because the stem cells are not as active as they were, say, when we were first born, a teenager. Even in our 20s, those stem cells are replicating, duplicating, and rebuilding the body pretty fast. They're active. But then when we hit that 30 mark, most people start to experience right around a 50% stem cell activity diminishes from your body, which is not good, which is why in sports, they start calling people in all the sports, it doesn't matter whether you're a bodybuilder or baseball, football, you get into your 30s and they start considering you old. And why is that? Because the body gets hurt easier, takes longer for it to repair. That's why a lot of times, Sharon, when people get into their 30s, those stem cells aren't rebuilding and repairing as fast. Then all of a sudden they don't have as much energy. They're needing more sleep. They're starting to feel, a little less active than they used to be. They get hurt. They don't recover as fast. I used to have a friend that was talking about how they couldn't stay up all night and party. And, by lunch the next day, they felt fine. And now they told me it would take them a week to get over a hangover. And that's just the stem cells in the body are not at 100% efficiency. And if they're at 50% or less, then it takes so much longer to recuperate and recover because those stem cells are not repairing faster than you're tearing down. And that's what's so key about a stem cell. Now, there are different types of stem cells, but the stem cells that we want to talk about are those pluripotent stem cells that go into any system and organ of the body and can replicate and duplicate any organ and system in the body. So as we get older, we start to have, say, heart problems. It's because the heart is starting to wear out, and the stem cells are not rebuilding and repairing it fast enough So the next thing you know, they'll have some form of cardiovascular disease, dementia, Alzheimer's. The brain begins to deteriorate. And then all of a sudden people have less memory. You know, they walk into a room and forget what they walked into there for. You know, I always use the term they lose their thought of train, you know, because, you know, their mind's not up to optimum efficiency. And it's because the stem cells are not replacing the brain cells faster than we're wearing them out. So that's why stem cells are so important, Sharon, is to keep them youthful and active, or else we begin to unravel and we start aging. And that can happen at any age, of course, because we see people today that abuse themselves as teenagers and in their 20s, and they start to break down. And in fact, now the research is showing that a lot of these kids that are growing up, all they live on is macaroni and cheese and pizza and sodas, and they're starting to have heart attacks and strokes and cancer at a much earlier age. So we both preach lifestyle, eating a clean diet, you know, exercising diet, drinking our water, we praying, meditate. We need to put the whole thing together. But unfortunately, by the time we're 60, Sharon, stem cell activity can be right around 30%, give or take. And so then that's when people really start to feel old, especially, you know, for older people. All of a sudden, you start seeing them in walkers. They've got canes. They're on medication. They're having to prop their systems up with things that aren't correcting anything. It's just propping everything up. And so that's why it's so important when we get to 60, we got to figure out a way to get those stem cells working again, because we're all going to age, but how we age is dependent upon our lifestyle, but also can we keep those stem cells active? Now, Sharon, me personally, I was taking care of myself. You know, I was eating right. I was eating clean. I was doing everything I knew to do from the natural standpoint. But, you know, when I hit that 60 mark, you know, I started having some problems, losing some weight. My testosterone levels started to diminish. My eyesight started to diminish. And, you know, and I was kind of like, I got to do something about this, you know. And so when we found this technology, we found out that by using a simple technology like the X39 stem activation patch, this could reboot my DNA, start getting my stem cells active again, and start rebuilding, repairing, rejuvenating. And the next thing you know, I'm resetting my DNA, and I started to reverse age. It was pretty amazing, you know, when I first started using this technology, and we talked about it. We can talk a little bit more about it tonight, but it's just a simple patch that you wear 12 hours on, take it off, rest 12 hours, get a new patch out of the box, put it on the body for 12 hours. 12 on, 12 off. It's very simple. How does it work? Photobiomodulation. It uses light therapy. We harness the power of your body's own life force energy.
It's our own stem cells.
It's our own
non-invasive, your own stem cells.
Nothing taken from another person, or like a lot of people will get it out of their bone marrow, but even that, it's very hit and miss. The medical community knows stem cell is where it's at, but they haven't figured it out. And they can do copper peptide injections, you know, and you can spend $400 a month just doing injections trying to boost it. Regular stem cell therapy, if you go out of the country, can cost you $20,000, $30,000 for one shot that may or may not work. That injection goes into the body, and it may even cause a problem instead of doing what it wants to do. And there goes $20,000 down the drain. So with this technology, you just basically every day take a patch out of the box, stick it on the back of the neck, below the belly button, wear it for 12 hours, and then just discard it, wake up the next day, and you're going to start resetting your DNA. You're going to start stimulating your own stem cell activity in your body. As you said, this is your stem cells being woke back up so that they can start to act like they're young again. And for me, within a week or two, I was sleeping better. You know, some people say, well, the older I get, I just don't sleep as good as I used to. Well, get your stem cells activated and you'll start sleeping better. A lot of people say, I don't have the energy I used to have when I was in my 20s or 30s. stem cell activation. Most people will start noticing immediately, man, I've got more energy. I noticed in the afternoons, around 1 or 2 o'clock, a lot of times, I kind of feel that afternoon slump. All of a sudden I was like, man, I feel good. I feel energetic. I don't need a little siesta in the afternoon anymore. Well, then I had a little bit of blood pressure issues, and within 3 weeks of using the stem cell activation technology, I got my blood pressure back into the normal range, because as we get older, it can create things. Well, when you stay on this patch and you stay consistent with it and persistent, some people, you can put it on, you can be like Sharon, get to be the one patch wonder, get immediate results the very first time you use it. But most people need time. Most people, you didn't get there overnight. Most of the time you're not going to just have a miracle overnight. So we tell people stick with it. And I'm glad I did, because, as the months went by, Jody was noticing my hair was getting darker. I started losing inches. I wasn't losing a lot of weight, but I was losing inches. She started, as I did a bodybuilding contest, and Jody said, "Hey, you're starting to get your abs back." I went, "Hey, yeah, man." And so that was cool.
You look fantastic.
And
and as I mentioned last week, it's like you post a lot of your journey and a lot of information. By the way, Dr. Stanley Gravely and Jody Gravely, the senior presidential directors for Lifeway, the X39. They're both found here on Facebook, so please reach out. But they're constantly posting updated and more information on the products, X39 and what have you. And he posts pictures of himself, the before and along the way, and and up to now. Your hair's getting darker. You're using hair dye, and it's getting thicker, and you're just looking younger. Because again, as we started this earlier, what are stem cells? Well, it's a root cell. It is the root that produces more cells, more sister cells that create the cells for liver, cardio arteries, for your skin, for your heart, your brain, your eyes. They're constantly producing, and as you had mentioned, as we get older, that all slows down, which accumulates to aging and a lot of issues that we face as we get older, health issues and situations. So producing your own stem cells, which I love, and you had explained through that, you're not injecting stem cells into you, you're producing your own through phototherapy. Even at our age, we're both in our 60s, and we're still producing new stem cells and reproducing more and more and more. And it's just replacing the old, activating new, and it's not just for recovery. I saw Jersey asked earlier, does it help with inflammation, injury, and recoup faster after workouts? Yes, yes, and there's other products as well. I personally use the X39 stem cell activation that Dr. Stanley Gravely was just talking about. There's also the Aeon for inflammation. That was my biggest issue, more so I think than even the arthritis, because I had so much inflammation in me. And there's also the X49. The athletes love this. The NFL, the Navy SEALs, NBAs, a lot more on this, and a lot of my bodybuilders, because it helps you recover faster after workouts. And there it is, the X49 and the X39 bundled together. And the X49 still stimulates stem cells, but not as much as the X39. That is the main focus. But the X49, it also helps with bone density and muscle tissue and what have you. But yes, the products work for recovery, for better sleeps, migraines, and then more serious issues. We had our special guest last week talking about how it reversed her cancer. She's in remission now from stage 4 cancer. So this product, yes, whatever your situation, even if you got no pains or aches or anything, but you're getting up there in age, it will help keep you younger. It reverses the effects of aging, because you're constantly able, once again, to produce new stem cells. Whether you're 40,
Sharon,
50, 60, 70. So
when you get
I
older,
love it. I swear by it. That's what we're back each week. And Dr. Stanley, you look fantastic.
Yeah, everybody's going to get older.
And also, here's a question for you, Dr. Stanley. I already know the answer, but I love how you break it down. I was asked a couple weeks ago by a young lady if it works on, she's got bone on bone. Her cartilage is just worn tooth, and she's waiting for procedures. Explain how this will help with her situation.
Well, any type of situation, I don't care what it is in your body, when things are deteriorating, they're breaking down, you have bone on bone, that means there is no stem cell activity going on in the area that's damaged. So that means that everything just starts flying away, the knee will just start, hips, whatever. We were working with a lady today that had hip pain, and it's because they're deteriorating. But the good news is, when you activate those stem cells will go to that area and will start to rejuvenate, repair, and heal. Try to put, some more synovial fluid in there, get some of those tendons and everything back working. Colostrum, everything begins to repair and heal and go to the injured site, because stem cells are that smart. When they know something's going wrong in the body, they will go to the places that need immediate attention, and it concentrates its energy on the repair and the healing and the restoration, which is why a lot of people, luckily sometimes you get a surgery put off and get a technology like this, because it gives the body to literally regenerate itself. The body is very smart. It knows how to regenerate. It knows how to heal, but it has to have the proper tools, the proper nutrition, and the proper stem cells working in the body for it to be able to repair. If the stem cells aren't there to do the job, then there's nothing's going to happen, Sharon. But you get that stem cells back working, it's going to go in there and begin to fix the problem, because that's what stem cells do. They are designed to go in and repair and restore all the organs and systems of the body. That's their job.
There you go. Absolutely. And, and again, along with, as we all know, you still have to have good habits in exercise and nutrition and proper supplements, your multivitamins, and you just got to keep yourself, you've got to work with it. Just because you got the patch, which is, it is groundbreaking technology by using your own light to activate your own stem cells. Through the process, you can help yourself by staying healthy. You still have to exercise. You still got to eat right. Take your supplements. And with the stem cell patch, it's going to help produce new stem cells. But a healthy lifestyle is the way to go. And just don't expect the patch to take you through everything. You still got to put some work in too. You've got to take care of yourself. And hydrate. It's important. Hydrate, especially on the patches, because they do detox as well. I had a couple of individuals, myself included, that noticed, understand, sometimes the pain got a little stronger before it got better.
Yeah, that's normal.
Why is that?
Well, that's what I call the healing crisis. It's kind of like when you hurt something, what happens? Inflammation runs to the injured area, and it begins to hurt because it's been injured. The inflammation gets there, and you'll have some swelling, you'll have some redness. That's good. That's the body sending energy and blood, nutrition, and those stem cells there to begin the process. But then what happens if the inflammation isn't taking out of the body, it gets inflamed even more. Next thing you know, you have infection and you have more pain, and then the inflammation gets out of control and you have more pain, more inflammation, more pain, and it gets out of control. That's why it's so important to have a little inflammation, but if your body's not able to repair and heal and restore, and it doesn't have the stem cells and the proper nutrition going in there, then it becomes stagnant, and all the bacteria, everything, instead of everything being eliminated, and new oxygen and nutrients coming in and the old's coming out, everything gets stuck there, and it becomes like a little sewage pit, so to speak, of germs and bacteria and inflammation, and then it can turn into ugly things like gout and all kinds of things that could be very detrimental to your health. So inflammation is painful, and it's good, but it can also turn into something bad. And it's interesting what we have found, and like even today, we were patching people at a workshop. You get that inflammation starting to remove, the pain starts to go away. It just goes away because that's what's causing the pain, is the inflammation is there. So get rid of the inflammation, and that will solve a lot of people's problems. In fact, all sickness and disease ultimately starts with acute inflammation, and then it builds from there into whatever it turns into.
And there you have it. Yeah, because that was the first thing I noticed. My legs felt like 100-pound weights, and with most of the inflammation in, a lot of pain going through there. But once I noticed within the next couple of days, it going down. The inflammation was going down, and the pain was starting to relieve. But yes, when the inflammation was starting to, reverse, clear out, man, it was like an open sore. It's like, oh my God. But then within another few days, I didn't feel pain at all. I was back power walking and everything. So, truly amazing. It's just, I can, each week I come on here, and that's why it's great to have testimonies like Dr. Stan or Alicia last week. We'll have more guests on as we go. You're your own walking testimony, because I can talk words and someone blue in the face and say, I found this wonderful product, you got to try it. Trust me, it works. But when you hear the stories, everyone's different in all the situations that they're dealing with, and how it's relieved, either pain or quicker recovery, or and again, a 70-year-old woman who couldn't raise her arms for 50 years from an accident, and she found stem cell patches, and now she's mobile again. It's just, I love the product, and I can't speak enough about it. I'm just reading here. What will it do for my testosterone level? An older gentleman asks. Well, you were talking about earlier, Dr. Stan, right? And again, it's stem cells.
It is. And my personal story was, Sharon, after I had been patching about a year, I went to my doctor, had my checkup, did the blood work, and over a 12-month period, my T levels jumped 200 points. 200 points. My doctor was like, he says, you're just about at teenage levels of testosterone. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. Because we're not just talking, you're talking about getting your manhood back in a lot of ways. It wasn't like I was, impotent or anything, but it got better, because your T levels go up, you feel better, you have more energy, you have, you wake up in the morning and it's easier to lose weight. That's why after right around the 12 to 13 month period, we call this the compounding effect of the patch. I lost a total of 30 pounds, because if your T levels are low, you're more susceptible to heart attacks. You're more susceptible to gaining weight. You can't lose the weight. You have low energy. You have low drive. You get those T levels back up, and you wake up with, energy and stamina, and it's like going back to being a teenager again, or in your 20s, because you have those hormonal levels. And it helps with women too, balancing their hormones, because women, they go through their hormonal changes too, just like men have menopause, y'all have menopause and we have menopause, but this, we'll slow that down or reverse it in so many different cases. Prostate issues. We have a friend of ours who worked in the post office. It took 8 months for it to kick in, but Sharon, he used to have to take a pill to pee every day. He couldn't pee on his own. After 8 months of doing the patching, he got up one morning and he peed without having to take a pill. His prostate started to heal. The inflammation went out of it, and it also improved his sex life. He was having sex again, after years, because his prostate was just so inflamed. That was the furthest thing from his mind. So if the men are concerned about that, yes, make sure you're doing the lifestyle, because we know pumping iron and weights is going to increase your T levels and the nutrition. But boy, you're going to get at an age where it's still going to slow down, but now we have the tool, X39 stem activation patch, to start to rebuild those glandular systems and get everything operating at more youthful levels, so that when you're like me at age 66, I have the hormone levels of a teenager.
You know, and you're smiling.
I am. Jody, Jody's
There you have it. There's your answer. Jersey. I have been using the patches thanks to the Gravely's. They're the ones that have introduced me to them. 2 years ago, I believe, or was it 2020 or 2021? I can't remember. It's been about 2 years, yes, but off and on. And that, right, let me tell you this. They sent me samples. And I, you know, everyone was sending me stuff or telling me you got to try this or that because, you know, I'm always sharing, you know, oh, I injured this and now this hurts and oh my God. And I love when everyone's talking and helping each other out. And hey, try this, take that, do this. and or use my products and, you know, help us sell it and I'll give you free product, whatever, right? So when Dr. Stanley had approached me about it, the patchy goes, you gotta try this. Trust me, it's free. I'll send you, you know, 5 days worth, whatever it was, something like that. And, but when he mentioned stem cell, and I was thinking, oh, okay, I can't afford injections. And he's like, no, just trust me. So he broke it down. He sent it to me. I'm here in Canada still. And again, waiting forever for a procedure. That's the socialized medicine we have. It's awful. And, I get it in the mail, and I'm in pain, guys. I mean, it was so awful. I mean, it's a couch potato. I mean, it was during COVID, so we couldn't do anything or go anywhere anyway, but still, you know, to be inactive for me, I'm just going out of my mind. I said earlier, my legs felt like 100-pound weights. My knees were swollen out like little footballs, and horrible. And I'm miserable. I put these on. I'm trying this lotion and that, and this and that, but that. I put the patches on the first night, and the next day I swung out of bed. My legs felt like they were 50 pounds lighter each, you know, and I just thought, wow. And a lot of the pain had subsided, and that was just my first night. Everyone's different. I noticed mine right away. I don't know because the inflammation was so bad. That's the first thing I was tending to. But within a week, I was power walking. There were stairs at my condo, so I had to walk up the upstairs. Now I was doing the butt walk down the stairs. That's how bad they were. And within a week, I'm walking up down the stairs. I'm back in the gym squatting. I was able to go back and start training my clients again, the whole ones I had out of their home, of course. And so I used the patches, but then I ran out. I'm like, all right, I want more. I want in. What is this stuff? I want to get involved. And it's that incredible. And so he explained everything else, and so I purchased more. And with a little bit of time in between, I felt it kind of fizzing. And then I went back on, it stayed stronger. And then I was back to I felt 95%, right? And so I take a trip out to California and I fractured my leg. I wasn't on the patches, it took forever. And so back on the patches again, it healed that fracture. Point is, and this is what I tell everyone because I've been through it and I saw people that are like, no, I've got a budget, I just want to get this much, even though it's not that much money. And then, you know, you're starting to feel good, it's starting to get mobile again or whatever effects, you know, they're starting to reverse. And then you go off them for a while, you still got to stay on it for at least 6 months. You know, 3 to 6 months to be fair because your body is at work producing new stem cells. And in my case, it was kind of like starting at the bottom. It's like, man, you're getting red and starting to, you know, get me going. And it's working and working. Now I will never go off them. You know, there's times where, you know, I run out and it's like, it takes about a week to get them here or what have you. But I've been on them off and on for about 2 years and I'm staying on them and I just love it. And also not just my osteoarthritis, and the fracture in my leg, but I was getting heart palpitations, and those are gone. I sleep at night, no more insomnia. I mean, you know, there's stem cells. Whatever ails you is going to work because stem cells are the root. You know, the stem cell is the root, and it produces new cells where it needs to go, whether it be, you know, your arthritis or your heart or your liver, and or overall. Eventually, it's going to overall, and then your hair is going to get thicker and healthier. I was also asked, well, how does it know where to go? Like you fixed your knees and her cancer was reversed, and Dr. Stan's, he's reversing age and this arthritis and her migraine. How does it know what to do? Well, your body knows where to heal itself, regardless, right? It's like when you break an arm, you put a cast on it, and eventually it's going to heal because your body knows where to place the stem cells where they're needed most. And again, as we age, it's harder to produce new stem cells, if at all any, depending on what age you're at, which is the root of ailment. A lot of the cells start to die in us, and if we can't reproduce new ones, the ones we have are just dying, and then many of us will contract cancer or some kind of disease or aging issue. This is the beauty of it. You're replacing those stem cells constantly. So as you get older, I would stay on them for at least up to 6 months, and then give yourself a break and then go back on again. They give you a chart. Those of you that are on the patches, you receive a chart, and it's got the pressure points where to place the patches, But I say, and actually it was Dr. Stan that told me this, you just stick it on your big toe. It knows where to go. It's just an amazing technology. And again, I can't thank the Gravely's enough.
We had a question on there about the copper in the body. Now, what this patch does is it activates the GHK copper peptide that's in the body, and that is, if you Google copper peptide, GHK copper peptide, it is considered the holy grail of healing and restoration. But this copper peptide tells the stem cells to wake up and regenerate and begin to do their job again. And yes, some people can be copper deficient, but that's why you should be on an advanced multivitamin mineral supplement that has a broad spectrum of these minerals so that your body is being replenished with the proper minerals. So that yes, if you are low on copper, the patches will still work. It will still activate the GHK copper peptide in the body. But sometimes people, especially if they haven't been supplementing, Sharon, they need to be supplementing with some type of multivitamin mineral supplement that has some copper in it. We don't need it. We don't need a lot, just a little, and it will make all the difference in the world. So that's another pitch too. When you're doing the patches, if you drink your water and you exercise, you eat clean, you take a good supplement program, the stem cell activation patch is going to work better and faster for you.
There you go. And my dear friend, Emmerich Delsay. Hello, Emmerich. Thank you for joining. This guy, you would love him, Dr. Stanley. Emmerich, he does formulations. And he's also has a stem cell-based cream out for your skin, which I've been using. I love it. Emmerich says you also need, what did he say? Ionic copper. You also need ionic copper.
Well, we've got clinical, I'm not sure if he's talking about a specific charged copper. I understand what he's saying, if that's what he's saying, like an ion charged copper. But what we have found in our clinical studies, people just taking a basic copper supplement, organic copper supplement with the stem cell activation, we can demonstrate, we got 80 clinical studies that demonstrate and prove that we are elevating the GHK copper peptide in the body. We have the clinical studies to prove it. Now, our company is coming out in this next quarter, actually a stem cell activation supplement, an energizing formula in the morning and one at night that supports natural stem cells. And of course, copper will be in there along with some other key ingredients. We won't break off. Maybe we'll come back when it's out, maybe do a segment on why you should take this supplement to help with stem cell activation. So yes, supplementation and all these things that we can do to assist our body, by all means do it. But I think most people will agree there's a lot of junk supplements out there, that are artificial, synthetic, they're coal tar derived. These are not supplements you want to put into your body. They can actually cause problems. They can actually feed cancer, not because the body doesn't recognize it as the natural vitamins and minerals. So again, make sure that whatever you're supplementing with, Sharon can help you with that, I can help you with that. Make sure that whatever you're taking is a whole food complex supplement, vitamin mineral supplement that has no artificial synthetic fillers and things in there, or else you're going to do more harm than good.
And there you have it. Well, it is 6:30. And
there you
that
go.
was awesome. And I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. One more thing. With arm wrestling heavyweight champion Devon Lara has gone undefeated. What?
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, reach out to us. Let us help you on a program. Let us know what's going on with you, whatever situation you have going on. Please reach out to Dr. Stanley Gravely or Jody Gravely or myself. You can email me at Sharon Bruneau at Hotmail. We can set up a call with the Gravleys, or you can contact them directly. Go to SharonBruneau.net/LifeWave. All of our contact information is on there. Or you can find Stanley and Jody Gravely here on Facebook. Send them a DM. Send them a call. Let us, help you break down some more information for you. Design a program for you. Bundle it. Save you money. We're here to help. I'm coming back because I love this product. It works, and if it's going to help you like it's helped me, then I just want to be the one to direct you in the right direction. So anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Stanley.
Thank you for having us. Love you.
Love you, Jody. I see you typing in here. And we'll be back next week. Keep joining us. Reach out. Anyway, keep flexing. Have a great week, and we'll be back later. Take care, everyone. Bye, y'all.
Bye.